welcome back to my channel. If you are new here and like the video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more content. Thank you for watching. Hello everybody, welcome to the second and final part of Born to Die. Now, this part will get a little, gory and violent, and, well, yeah. Viewer discretion advised. Now let's get to the angst and gay. He couldn't remember how many times he lost consciousness, nor did he know how much time passed. Seconds split into minutes, and minutes to hours. His hands hung limp against the restraints that still forced his arms up. The gag was wet with blood and drool. It was slightly torn due to a knife wound against his jaw. His kidnapper was currently absent, but he made a mental note. It was what kept him sane during all of this. What he would do if he got out. He had to keep hope. Whenever he becomes free and goes home, he would play his heart out in volleyball like nothing could hold him back. He would visit his family back in his hometown more often. He would go to his brother's shop and eat as much rice balls as possible and become nicer to his twin. He would apologize to Kumi and never, ever let go. The sun from the early morning shined through the windows, meaning people were waking up. Maybe, just maybe, if he could have the power to scream, he would. Atsuma shuffled around, hoping to find something that could be used as his advantage, but startled, hearing a small tear from his gag. The knife wound. If he could tear it more, he might just be able to get help. He moved his head, crying out again when his shoulder shifted beneath his skin, shortly after rejoicing, feeling the piece of fabric fall off. Golden eyes darted between the door and the window before he heard footsteps from the window. It was now or never. Help! He attempted to scream, but his voice was too raw. Someone, please help me. Please. The footsteps stopped. They heard him. He had to push further. Please help. Hello? That voice. Umi? Atsu? He ran up to the window, not being able to see through. Atsu, are you in here? Yes, I'm in here. Please. He sobbed, never once remembering a time he felt more relieved than now. He was fully convinced that that was where he would die, before he'd ever been given a chance to live. I'm here. It's okay now. Where's the door? I'll get you out. I don't know. He sobbed, straining against the ropes, feeling a warm liquid down his arms. He was desperate to get out now, into Kiyomi's arms, far, far away from here. Freedom was so close, he could almost taste it. Umi. It's okay, Atsu. Just hold on. He quickly shot Osamu a text, giving the address, so if things did get ugly, at least there was some backup not too far away. Are you hurt? Atsumu looked down, seeing a lot more blood than he thought there was. It made his breath shake. Yes. Can you walk? No, I'm tied up. I can't move. He whimpered, feeling the restraints tug at his aching shoulder. Okay, it's okay now. He paused, hearing a door open and Atsumu felt the blood drain from his face. Why the hell is this off? He picked up the gag that once kept him quiet. Even with it off, being alone in that room with him made him lose all ability to speak. The kidnapper swung his foot back before connecting it into his side. Atsumu was sure he heard a crack and grunted. He was pulled further away from the wall once more, making him scream, feeling his arm being pulled.
Shut up.
He slammed his head back into the wall, making him go limp, trying to refocus.
I'm getting really sick of your disobedience. Do you really want to test me? Again?
He grabbed a knife, pressing the tip right below his chin, forcing his head up. Such flawless skin. He moved the dagger across his unbruised areas with deranged eyes.
It really makes me want to carve into your skin.
He chuckled.
What do you say?
He pressed the tip close to his throat.
Want to play a round of darts?
Atsu cried, the back of his head wet from blood, his hallucinations making him appear more frightening than before. Omi. Within seconds, the pressure from the knife was gone, and so was the man. SakuAtsu barged in through the door, tackling his kidnapper to the ground, already swinging his fist back, punching him in the jaw time and time again. Thinking he was down, he approached his lover, his eyes widening, seeing how injured he was before cutting the ropes. Both of his arms relished at the release, but came inflamed only moments later. Come on, let's get... He grunted, feeling a fiery pain erupt in his shoulder. SakuAtsu turned, seeing the man still conscious, with a knife plunged deep into his skin. Omi! The raven used his legs to kick the criminal back and ran up to his lover, finally holding him tightly in his arms. He used his arms to cover him from the man. If they do die there, SakuAtsu was going to make sure he would go down before Atsumu. He refused to let him get to his lover as long as he was alive. The blonde grasped onto Kiyumi with bloodied hands, tears spilling over his blood-stained cheeks.
You fuckers. You think you can get away with this?
He pulled out another knife. The blonde gasped. I'm sorry. SakuAtsu looked back at the ladder, wiping his tears with his thumb, gently brushing his blonde locks back. It's okay, love. Everything is okay. He pressed his forehead against his lover's. I love you, Atsu. Nothing would ever change that. A simple argument to death. Nothing could break what they had. Years he spent alone, wondering if love actually existed or was a figment of everyone else's imaginations. It wasn't until Atsumu came into his life. He can't even begin to describe the love he has for the setter. That love can't be portrayed in words, only by action. He held Atsumu closer, placing a small kiss on his lips. I'm not going anywhere. He locked eyes with his lover, ready to feel the knife pierce into his skin once more. When he dies, he wants the blonde to be the last thing he ever lays eyes on. That is the greatest treasure.
Drop the weapon!
Atsumu gasped. His heart couldn't take too much more. When he actually be granted his freedom. Atsumu! Osamu ran past the cop to the couple on the ground, completely ignoring the kidnapper who had dropped his weapon. He glanced at SakuAtsu's wound before fully taking in his twin's state. He dropped to his knees, embracing his older brother, feeling tears of his own form. He abruptly let go, feeling bone shift underneath his touch. Can you walk? He shook his head. No, I can't. His legs felt numb from blood loss. In fact, everything was feeling numb. The adrenaline was waning at a dangerous pace, and his vision began to blur. Atsu? Osamu looked back over with widened eyes.
No, Sumu, you gotta stay awake, okay?
Yeah, no problem. I'll stay awake. Feeling his grip loosen, SakuAtsu quickly picked up the blonde, disregarding his own wound and running out of the building to get him closer to the ambulance.
SakuAtsu, don't push yourself. What use is it if we lose him?
He wiped the sweat from his brow, stumbling outside of the building, gently setting the ladder down. Atsu, baby, you have to stay awake. I am. His head hung low and would occasionally raise before exhaustion took him back down. SakuAtsu took off his shirt to add pressure to the areas that bled the most, making the ladder whine at the pain. Only. SakuAtsu grabbed Atsuma's hand, softly caressing his cheek with the other. Yes, Atsu, I'm right here. I love you too. He never got to say it back whenever they thought they would die, but now he was free. But that cold touch of death was consuming him. His tears of anguish left moist trails on his battered skin, and SakuAtsu did his best to wipe away. Before he could respond, however, Atsumu let the darkness consume him as his eyes finally closed. Atsu? He gently shook him, but it was all in vain.
Atsumu!
The sirens wailed in the distance, but that was blocked by his own harsh breaths as panic overtook him. His lover laid unconscious in front of him in a battered state, yet he couldn't shake the feeling that that was the last time he would ever see him, hear his voice, feel his loving touch. It fucking terrified him. He was hyperventilating, his knife wound making him drop next to his lover with his own vision hazing in and out. He couldn't help but think maybe it wouldn't be so bad following wherever he went, whether it was the skies above or to the depths of hell. Just letting his eyes close, and he would let himself get lost in the same darkness as Atsumu. His eyelids grew heavy. Maybe they were happy there. He gave Atsumu's hand one more squeeze before losing all strength. Maybe Atsumu was right. They were born to die there. SakuAtsu's eyes shot open with a start. The first thing he noticed was the lack of the sitter's presence. He wasn't in his room, but a white sterile one with steady beeping sound. He was in a hospital bed with IVs hooked up in his arms. You're finally awake. The younger twin let out a sigh of relief. Osamu?
Yes, you dumbass. I told you not to push yourself with a fucking stab wound, and what did you do?
He urged on the matter. I pushed myself with a stab wound.
Yes, you are officially in my book written down as a dumbass.
I'm honored. He rolled his eyes, sitting up.
What did we just establish, and you are already... Where's Atsu? Is he okay? Of course he is. What do you take him for?
SakuAtsu froze. He was baffled, to say the least. But he also just underwent that ordeal. Dude, he's fine. He stepped to the side, letting the older twin roll in the room by wheelchair. He was covered in bruises and bandages, but was still smiling. Well, at least smiling the best he could with the gauze taped on his jaw. Atsu? Hi, Omi. His jaw was practically on the floor.
Should you be out of bed?
Well, I'm allowed to. Plus, I spent yesterday in bed. Sakisa squinted in confusion. Yesterday? Atsumu grabbed the taller's hand, placing a small kiss. Yeah, you were asleep quite a bit. You really were tired, huh? He giggled, brightening the room with the chorus of his laugh. But still, your injuries are extensive. You shouldn't... Atsumu groaned, reaching over to shut the ace up by connecting their lips into a deep and passionate kiss. The last couple of days were spent thinking each moment would be their last, but finally free with the shackles of death lurking over their shoulders. They could finally live. Sorry about the long wait. I hope you guys enjoyed this, as I did say that there was a good, happy ending. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you'd like to be kept up to date, check out any of my social medias. I hope that you all have a wonderful day or evening.